Personal hygiene food preparation areas is very much important to deliver a safe product. I will just discuss about why these points are important in this phase of this new generation. The worker's personal appearance is an important factor for employees' distinctiveness in the food business. The younger generation, they like the makeup, fingernails, piercing, jewelries, and many other things, which are basically the potential hazards to the food preparation areas, and to control them is not an easy task. The other important factor that working under illness is also common but very much unfortunate practice, because we need the continuous income. So employee feel good to do work under the illness, but it is very much bad because that employee is going to spread the germ to the other people through the. I will just emphasize on the key communication points which are very much important to save the food. Good personal hygiene is a basic requirement for any implementation of a strong food management system. We always discuss about trainings, we always discuss about the education. Why education is important? Because in this new younger generation scenario, we have to discuss the importance of food hygiene during the interview with any food handler, and we have to discuss him about the requirements of a job during as a food service worker, and why it is important and what are the requirements which are there, what they have to avoid, how they have to come to the food business, to the food area, so that they are not able to spread the germs to other people. We have to communicate these personal hygiene policies during orientation, and also we have to post, or you have to make the posters at the different locations as a reminder. Because if we are not going to remind these things again and again to the food handler, they will forget, or they will try to forget. It is very much important and good, so that if we are going to do through pictorial brochures, and try to use actual pictures. Sometimes take a good picture, sometimes take picture which you don't like, or the picture of the weekend, and also discuss in these pictures what we have to do and what do not have to be done for the food safety. It should be colorful. Colorful smiles are colorful. You can choose anyone a model, anyone good worker from your own system, so that he shows a positive attitude about this important subject. It is also very much important. Sometimes some employee do not like some sort of hair nets, some sort of beard nets and gloves, so we have to give them the option so that they can choose as per their option, and which are very much easy for them. Whenever we are doing this pictorial training or communication, the administrative controls and continuous monitoring is very much important. We have to see, supervisor has to check that if any worker has a flu or any other communicable illness, he has to inform the supervisor, and he should not depart to handle the food. We have to support them so that they can also work in other area where they are not able to handle the food. For example, some stores, some unloading and unloading, where there is not a direct contact with the food. We have to monitor that they have to come on the duty in the food establishment, food area in a good health, clean, dressed, and in a clean attire and uniform. They have to wash their hands properly, frequently, and at appropriate times. It means that sometimes they are coming full day and they are not going to wash their hands. There should be some policy that they have to wash hand at least after 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, something like that. Their fingernails should be trimmed, filed and maintained. There should be no artificial fingernails, fingernail polish. They have to, if they are cannot do anything and they have to use the artificial fingernails, then we have to emphasize on use of single-use gloves. We should not allow any jewelry inside the food area or where their direct food handling is there, except for these plain rings, the wedding rings, without any stones or any other thing. If there is any wound, any sores are there, we have to immediately treat and we have to put the bandage on that. And it's very good if we can use a bandage with some significant color, for example blue, something that color which does not match the color of the food or color of the raw material which is present there. They have to take the bath daily, wash their hairs regularly. They have to control their hairs by putting the hair net. We should not allow any food, drink, tobacco or gum in the food handling areas, and we should train them to avoid any unguarded coughing, sneezing directly on the food or near to the food, and they have to wash their hands after coughing and sneezing. Now the most important factor is the hand washing. If we see the food safety data, there are many cases which are coming through streptococcus, they are coming to the salmonella, and the main factor is human, because human bring the most of the infections inside the food establishments, and they then spread that to the other areas, other peoples who are consuming your food or consuming your raw material. So we have to train them that they have to always wash their hands before starting the work, during the food preparation, because if they are going to use another desk, another process, so we have to avoid the cross contamination whenever they are changing the tasks, whenever sometime they have to go for handling of raw material and again they are coming to the cooked food or food near to prepare, near to serve, directly serve food. If they have any coughing or sneezing, they have to use the handkerchief or tissue, and if they are going to do eating, drinking, smoking, and they have to be done in the designated areas rather than in the food processing areas or the food production halls, so that there should not be any cross contamination. We have to tell them the hand washing importance, why they are important. Whenever they are handling raw meats, poultry, fish, they are doing any handling of garbage, they are doing the sweeping areas in certain areas, they are picking any items on the floors, they are doing the cleaning, or they are using any chemicals which are not a part of the food. After using the toilets, this is one of the most important factor for the contamination, to cause the contamination. And also again about switching between the raw foods and ready to eat foods. Now how they have to wash hands, this is also very much important. Sometimes we emphasize the people to go for washing, but we do not tell them how to wash the hands. So these are just the few basic guidelines or few basic areas. You can add any step in that, or you can remove any step from these areas as per your product, as per the hazards of the product, if there is any special items are there, so we have to take care for that. It's better if we can give them the hot or the water which is comfortable, normal water, and they have to moisten their hands and then add small quantity of soap. And it's better if they can lather to the elbow. It also depends upon product to product. If they are going to handle any raw chicken, any raw products which are more have a more problem with the microorganism, there we have to go in a more detail, much detail. Then they have to scrub the hands, then they have to wash all surfaces including back of hands, wrists, between fingers, under fingernails. Then they have to rub their hands at least for 20 seconds, because the good detergents are the good disinfectant. If they were using for 20 seconds, then they will work and we are able to remove any soil or anything which is present on the hand. They have to then rinse the hand under running water, dry the hands with using a paper towel or hot air dryer, remove these towels which we are washing, because sometimes we don't know when we are going to change that towel. Now do not touch anything that will recontaminate your hands. It's better that if we can use this paper towel to turn off the water faucet, or we have some sensors are there which taps are sensor operated, so it's very good that we will not again recontaminate our hands with the tap. So we can see that I have discussed only about the communication and education. So these both things are very much important, because training is a continuous process. We have to go continuously, tell them, otherwise they will not listen, or they will not follow these guidelines. So we have to all it takes communication, education, creativity and pride in one job are the key aspects of achieving this important goal to save the product from the cross contamination.